What's up, everybody? I don't remember what was going on, but I'm Dash.
I'm Dawn.
And this is my YouTube channel, Dallas Slippin', where we support shirts of things we like. Just boobs.
No, the Slipknot.
Okay. So we do garage sale, resale, thrift store, all that stuff, but this is a different kind of video. This is not a haul video. This is going to be the best garage sales and the things that we found or encountered
Yes.
of 2021.
Yeah.
So, Happy New Year.
Yay.
All right, you want to start off, Ed?
Okay. So the number one is hoarding grandma.
Okay. So, I said this multiple times and I'm going to stick with it. The best garage sales that I've ever gone to are the ones that are like around where we live.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is literally down the street next to Walmart.
Yep.
And they had a garage sale sign and we'd been out garage selling like all day. And then like, I think my mom or someone was like, there's a garage sale down there. And I'm like, oh yeah. So we went down there. Well, did they have a lot of good stuff? They did. I bought like all the video games I had for like $70. And I gave the lady my number. I was like, I buy video games, I buy toys, I buy trading cards. Well, about 3 hours later, she texted me and she's like, hey, Mr. Dash, you want to come buy these games? And I was like, let's do it. I paid like 60 or 70 more bucks. And then I think I made a lot.
Yeah.
A lot off of it. And the best part is that her mom was like, she's like, I'm a hoarder. And old Mexican short little lady. She's like, yeah, I got a bunch of He-Man Masters Universe toys from the 80s and all kinds of bugs that fly around my face. The door is open. It's interesting here in Texas today. Yeah, and then like, that was like one of the first people I gave my numbers to.
Mm-hmm.
She never called me.
No. Still devastated.
Mm-hmm. Masters of the Universe toys?
Yep. Comic books, Teenage Mutant Turtles.
Yeah, that's right.
She said all kinds of stuff, just totes and totes and totes and boxes of stuff.
She told me that she wanted me to help her like go through the garage and everything, yep. And I was like, "Oh man, it's gonna be be awesome." I'm wearing a toupee, by the way.
Yeah, but we offered to go over there and help her clean everything out, and then go through there and find out the things.
And basically offer her money for them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And what did she do?
She didn't call. She didn't text. Nothing.
Or what's next?
Hoarding grandma number 2.
So again, like I said, around the area.
Mm-hmm.
We go to this thrift store that's very close, and she's like on the same like little street that the thrift store was on. It said garage sale. Well, it had this like handicap ramp.
Yeah. Or
maybe it's like a skateboard ramp for handicapped people. I don't really know. But there was a bunch of stuff outside, and there was a bunch of video games. And I remember going to the sale and thinking like, who do we pay? Did we take it? We don't take it. And she's like, no, that's bad karma. I ain't about to steal nothing, lawyers.
No.
But we waited, and then we went to the door. We knocked on the door. The lady came out, and I think we gave her like $20 for all the video games. Mm-hmm. There was a couple good titles in there, some Mario games, a couple Sonic games, and we made quite a bit of money off of that. But she told me that she had like a storage unit, like full of toys and video games, and I was like, "Here's my number."
Yeah.
She talked to me a couple times. I messaged her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna go through it." And what happened?
Nothing.
She never went through it.
No text. No call. Nothing.
But
her granddaughter or her daughter had a sale not so long after that.
Yeah, we went back and we asked, and she was like, "I don't know what you're talking about,
no
bro."
Video games. Okay, number 3 is the man who showed up to our garage sale who would not shut up.
So we did have a garage sale. Is it in October?
Yeah.
And this dude comes up. He looked like a Jerry Springer extra. And he was like as tall as, he was about 6 foot.
Yeah.
About 250 pounds. Very portly fella. And no, he was.
Yeah.
And as soon as he came up, he was like, I'm running a mallard. You know about Troy Aikman? He was talking about football. That dude would not stop. And eventually got to the point where like he was interested in some football cards that we had for sale. And I was just like, yeah, you want something to drink? I'm going to go inside and get a water. And she was like...
Yeah, he left me outside with a man who would not stop talking, who, I want to add, was talking to him and would not let him get a word in. And every time I would look up at him, he was looking at me. As if I'm part of the conversation. No, I'm out. I'm out.
It was bad. Then the dude was sitting there for like an hour.
Yes.
He spent like $30 and he bought the cards, and I was like, you want me to help you take those to your car? And he was like, I didn't think it was really, and he was the best ever. He was the best. I don't care what you say about Tom Brady. This is motherfucker, you're like, he can tell him, man. He can do it. And,
went from football to wrestling.
yeah, and then we were just like, oh.
Yeah. I don't even know what he was saying half the time. I blocked him out. I was done. That was interesting for sure.
What's next?
Broke grandma whose kid would not let go of a rideable toy.
Okay,
Said she had
that was another thing at the garage sale that we had. This woman comes up with this little kid who literally was snot nosed. His nose had snot all over it, and he was like this little child was very severely undercleaned and probably hungry.
Oh no, hungry child.
See my other videos about hungry children.
Yeah.
We had this like ride-on toy, like what do you call them when you push them?
It's the rideable toys that turn into a walker. So
Yeah.
rideable toys.
So it's like developing toys for kids. I found a dumpster. I paid nothing for it. I was asking $5. $5. It worked completely fine.
Yep.
It lit up. It had batteries in it. I cleaned it up real nice. It had little pieces that you put in there and like, square, circle, triangle, all that good stuff. So she comes up and she asked me in Spanish, how much you want for this? I said, $5. And then he was playing with some other toys, and I told her in Spanish, he can have the dinosaurs for free if you buy the thing for $5. And she's like, okay. So she goes back to her car, and she's like she's looking for money. Well, the kid doesn't leave the little ride-on toy lion. He's all, about it. He's all about it. He's all about the damn thing.
He is.
And she comes back, I don't have any money. And I said, okay. And she's like, he can have dinosaurs? I was like, yeah, they're free. And then she's like, well, what about that? And I was like, no, that's $5. Well, I don't have it. You sure I can't just have it? And I said, you can have it for $5. And well, that kind of pissed the old woman off. She was an older woman. I'm assuming it was her grandson or some kid she just stole from Walmart. But in actuality, she got really mad. And she cussed me out in Spanish and attempted to remove the child from the lion. And what happened?
Oh, that child held on to that thing for dear life.
He held it with his legs like it was a vice grip. He was all like,
Yeah.
oh. He held on to it and screaming, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Ah, ah. And I was trying to help him and he kicked me and everything. And then I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna go here and die. Sorry. I got a sinus infection. But yeah, about 6 minutes later, the kid left, and the lady flicked us off and was like pissed off and like cussed us out because we wouldn't give the kid the damn toy.
Sorry, lady, we were trying to make some money ourselves.
What's next?
Man who wanted too much at his sale, and we ended up with a Spanish Skyrim.
Oh yeah, okay. So we went to this sale in Little Forest Hills or something, like Castle in the Heights, in this big, almost mansion house. It was a very large, estate-looking home.
Very nice house.
Yeah, they had a bunch of nice cars and a new Land Rover, and it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
And they had tarps on everything. And it was like sprinkling. It wasn't really raining.
It was like sprinkling, but we had rain expected for the day.
And so we're looking around. They had a bunch of stuff, and we were comping it out, and we were like, "Oh, this is going to be good." And so she was like, "Well, how much is everything?" The lady goes, "I don't know. My son's in charge." And she's like, "Well, where's your son?" Well, our son shows up with his dog, and he's like short.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, let me get everything looking up. And so he's like pricing everything as we're staying there. They had a really cool Mickey Mouse Bulova watch or something like that. They had all these really cool comic books and toys, and they had a knife, some old Crown Royal bottles. Everything was like way more than retail, and he had a video game that was sealed, and I looked up and was like, it's $30, it's $30. And he just was like, well, with everything else. And he was like, $5. And I was like, give it, here you go. I gave him the $5, we got out of there. I didn't realize till we got home that the damn game was in Spanish. It was an Xbox One Skyrim game, but it was like El Skyrim. I mean, I sold it for like $30 on eBay, so I don't even care. But yeah, you gotta pay attention to what you buy. And it was just a shame because the guy had some really good stuff, but like he wanted way more than anything eBay or anything it was sold for. So.
Yeah. So the lady who we know, who starts with an S, not giving her a shout out, had a table of video games and refused to negotiate on price because they just started, while a man beside us was negotiating with on game stuff.
So this was like one of my arch nemesis. Her name starts with an S.
We won't mention her name.
She has garage sales, and like, she's a scam artist. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't like pull the wool over some idiot when they're an actual idiot. But this woman was selling broke ass games that she knew didn't work.
Yeah.
Because I bought a few of them. Because I wanted them. I wasn't trying to resell them. I wanted them. I bought them because I wanted them. She had games that were like starred, and each one was like $5 to so many dollars. Mm-hmm. Well, I said, you know what? How much for everything on the table? Give me a price. I got cash. Let's talk. I just wanted to buy them so we could take them home, test them, list them, whatever. It was like 8:15. They started at 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. They had like a table, 2 or 3 tables full of games. She says, I don't think they want to negotiate. We just started. Mm-hmm. They also had a GameCube.
Yeah.
That was roached to frick out and looked like it was bombed by rust. And she was like, it's not untested with no cords, $20. I can tell you right now that motherfucker didn't turn on.
No.
That thing.
It was gone.
That thing died in the Vietnam War. That thing was gone.
It's gone.
And the worst part is, like Don said, there was a dude, he wanted the Rock Band drum set and everything else, and he was like, you're asking this much, how about $50? And she's like, deal. And I was like, I even said, like, you won't negotiate with me, but you're negotiating with him.
Yep.
I wanted to buy it like $400 worth of games. Mm-hmm. And I showed her cash money, and she was like, yeah.
We just started.
Girl.
Next one. Garland sale full of Atari games and Nintendo games, and was a reseller and wanted everything to go, but wouldn't budge on prices and asked way too much.
Okay, so we drove. That was like, honestly, Garland Rockwall. We drove a little ways. Early in the morning, after this, it wasn't a nice house. It wasn't a big house. I call it like a McMansion. It had a really nice pool and like backyard area, and the whole sale was in the backyard area. Well, this dude was like, I don't know, can't say that on the thing, but he was a jackass. And he straight up said that he bought storage units and it was a reseller and he sold on Amazon, Mercari, eBay, all that stuff. And he had a lot of good stuff to resell, and he had a bunch of Atari games and PC games and good model kits and toys. And he would not negotiate at all. He was like, this is what they're worth and this is what I'm selling for. I was like, look, I'll buy it all. Make me a deal. Like, we'll take it all. We have cash. We're here to, you don't want it. You don't need it. You want to get rid of it, and I want to take it. He wouldn't negotiate at all, and I think we got some DVDs for the kids or something for like $1. Maybe something you wanted. I don't know. We spent like $2, and all we got was some movies or something, and it was really hard to walk away from because I knew the money that we could make, and it sucked.
That'll teach him, though. Can't have a garage sale and ask way too much.
You can.
It's not going to work favorably.
What's next?
Sale where the family sat outside smoking like chimneys, but we got a PS from them that was full of roaches and stinks when it's on.
Okay, so this is another one of those we drove a little ways for because it was like the only sale of the day that said like we have video games, and they said like we have a PlayStation and all this other stuff. So we drove all the way out there, 30, 45 minutes, and we got there. And this dude was like drugged out or something, and every one of the kids was like, they were all girls. They were all like staring at me like, what's up? And they were all chain smokers. They all stunk, and he was like, it works. And I remember like, is the price negotiable or you stuck on the price? And I think he wanted $50 for everything, and I was like, how about 40? And he was like, how about 35? And then like they looked at him like, Dad, no, that's the other way. And I was like, oh, I ended up giving like $40 for it after he already said 35. We got a PS3, 2 or 3 controllers, and I say a bunch of games. A couple games. But yeah, we didn't have a PS3 to test the games. But then we had a PS3 to test the games, and then, as my lovely woman here said, it was literally filled with roaches because when we plugged it in and turned it on, like, it not only stunk like ganja. I'm assuming what ganja. I've never smelled ganja, but if that's what ganja
No,
smells
it
like,
was not. It was worse.
it was
It
worse.
was like death.
And it literally shot out baby roaches.
Yes.
And like we took it outside and we sprayed it with compressed air and like roaches fecal matter and like yeah, it was disgusting. And I'm like, ooh,
it's terrible.
If that's how they live.
The sale where the dude thought we took stuff from him dropped about $800, and he later dissed you and how you walked and demanded his game and his case back.
Okay, so I made a private purchase where this guy was selling Game Boy, and I went with like about $300 one morning, and I was like, "Do you have anything else?" I bought the Game Boy, all the stuff he had, and he was like, "Yeah." He comes out with his box, and I was like, "Damn, how much you want for the box?" He's like, $20. I gave him $20. You got anything else? He comes out with more stuff. He had Sega Game Gear. He had all this. Like it was a honey hole. And I was like, look, I don't have any more money. I'll buy everything you got here. Can I come back tonight and see everything else you got? Yeah, sounds like a good idea. So he told me what time he was available. So I went back, and we spent about an hour.
Yeah.
And the dude kept bringing out more stuff. He had N64s. He had NESs. He had games. He had Game Boys. He had modded Game Boys. This guy was sitting on the Nintendo Sega honey hole. Yeah. We spent about $800, and I don't know what I did or said. I think I kind of have an inkling because he modded Game Boys, and I said something along the lines of, that's sacrilege. You should never modify something original like that. The dude lost it. I'm pretty big. She's pretty big, like tall. This guy was not, and all of a sudden he started freaking out. We'd already paid him the money, and we were going to buy more. We had like $400 or $500 more to spend. Yeah. This guy freaked out, cussed me out, said I walk like a faggot and he was going to beat my ass or something. And I was like, all right, I think it's time to go. So we started putting stuff in the car, and he came outside and he's like, I'm going to call the cops. If you don't give me back, whatever. And he started taking stuff out of the boxes we'd already paid for. Yep. The guy freaked out, and I was like, look, I'll call you in a couple of days. You calm down. We'll buy you the rest of your stuff. And he cussed me out. He told me I was, this and that and whatever. And you walking like a faggot, bitch. And I was like, okay. Well, we never called him back. But it's just really unfortunate that someone who we just paid almost $1,000 to treat you like that.
Yeah. Garage sale where the lady had baby dolls and matching dresses, and we were going to buy them all, but the lady snatched the Elsa and Anna dolls from us because somebody else just bought them while we had them.
So this is a pretty recent one. October?
No.
Early November? Mm-hmm. So we went to a sale not very far from the house, and they had these. We actually gave them to our kids for Christmas. They were these like American Girl doll sized dolls, and there was one for every like Disney princess, and they come with matching dresses. Do you want like $10 a piece or something like that?
25, I think. They were expensive.
I don't know. Brand new, they were like $130, but they wanted like 25. And I was gonna get them all because we were like, yeah, we're gonna give those to kids for Christmas. Well, we had them all in the thing, and some wrestling things too, and I think something else. This woman comes over there and snatches them out of her hands. Boom, boom. And I was like, well, what are you doing? She's like, oh, this lady bought them. I was like, but we're going to buy them. She's like, well, she was going to buy them. I was like, look, we have them. No. Oh, no. And then the lady hands her the money and everything happens. And I can see her face kind of like her heart sinks. And I'm like, look, you're not going to take those things out of her hands. She's like, I was like, look, you're about to have a problem on your hands because you're not doing that. And I was like, well, then you're going to give me a deal on all this stuff. And she's like, no, you can pay what I'm asking. And I was like, or I can freak out. And I was like, you better do something nicely because I'll put this stuff down and I'll walk away and then you'll lose money. And she's like, well, somebody else will buy it. I was like, look, that's not the attitude to have. We were going to buy all this. I have the money right here in my pocket. Make me a deal. And I was like, you snatched those things out of her hands. You're going to make right. I guess I'll give you $10 off because I snatched them out of her hands.
Oh, that's so rude.
Ooh, I had real hard time not doing something to that woman. It's not a threat, lawyers. No. I wanted to hug her.
Friendly hug. Tell him that's not okay.
Like this. Sorry, I didn't hug your eye.
Yeah, I don't need that scene.
Okay. It's not violence, lawyers.
So the next one is the sale where the ladies who were older and super flirty, who made a comment about being swingers, and told me to make sure I come back with my husband when we went to pick up the games from one of them the next day.
Or something like that because they were snatching me up or something like that.
Oh,
Guess who went back alone the next day?
He did. Rude.
Nothing happened.
No.
They were also. hideous.
Like 60?
That wouldn't have stopped me.
Anyway. It was funny, but you made a pretty good deal because she did reach out. And...
I think we bought one or two things, like dinky things, like a game, like a movie, or I don't know. We didn't spend a whole lot of money.
Yeah, she wouldn't get rid of those.
But she did text me, and I was like, I'll buy video games. She said that her kids are grown up, and she had a bunch of stuff. She had a bunch of Nintendo games, controllers, stuff like that, and then like Game Boys. And I was like, Game Boys? Super Mario! Yeah. But she said the kids wouldn't get rid of the Game Boys. I think I spent like $30, $40. I got a really good deal, and my buddy, who, if you're watching, you know who you are, he bought all of them.
So the next one is a good one. It was the Gay Man sale where we scored Buzz and Woody.
Oh, okay.
And Tony
Wait. You're spoiling it. So this dude, he said that his life partner had died or something like that, and they were getting rid of all of his husband, boyfriend, concubine, man thing, his stuff because they didn't want it in the house anymore. I understand that. I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, we got a really good deal. And he even said you're getting a good deal. We got a brand new Holiday Hero Buzz or something like that. 1998 in the box, lit up, everything. We got a Woody doll, not as cool as the Buzz.
Woody's always cool.
No, I'm missing like he didn't light up or anything. He still made noise, but he was not nearly as cool as the Buzz, nearly as big. And then we got this thing called Tony the Tattooed Man. If you have any children, you should probably get them out of the room right now because I'm going to go into full detail about what Tony the Tattooed Man was and what he had. So pause the video now. 3, 2, 1. Tony the Tattooed Man was some failed toy from Mattel in the early 90s. He was a big old, burly old Tarzan-looking mofo, and he had tattoos that you could, like, press on in water and everything. But he was controversial because it taught kids that tattoos are okay, which I also don't think tattoos are okay. But I digress. This man had super glued a phallus on the toy, and the toy had a very chubby little ding dong attached to it. He gave it to us, and we laughed at it like that when we saw it because the toy was some kind of weird I'm too sexy for my ding dong thing. And we removed it, we cleaned it up, and we put it on eBay. I got the only one that's complete with the box. Buy it.
For sale.
It's for sale. It might have AIDS.
A neighbor sale who had a clear dildo in the box.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I just sold the Spider-Man today, actually. It was like we paid $1 for a Spider-Man figure that was worth about $100, and then these weird stripper things that for like bachelorette parties. I shit you not. In this box of like random things, there was a dildo, new in the packaging. Yeah, it was in the packaging, and like I remember thinking like.
He said, "Baby, look."
I was like, she was like, "What?" And I was like, without like saying, "Look at that, it's a sex toy." And then like, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
She died. And her face was like,
definitely, Yeah. But you went back the next
day, and I asked. Yeah, it was gone. So somebody, some nice little Mexican woman bought that.
So this one is dedicated to all the sales where we ask in Spanish if they have any video games, and they say...
I don't speak English.
Boom.
But I say it in Spanish, like, ¿Tienes videojuegos?
Yeah.
She says, what? ¿Tienes videojuegos? ¿Juguetes? And they go, I don't speak English. It's happened at least 6 sales. Where I specifically say in Spanish, do you have any toys or video games? And they go, I don't speak English. And so I just say, okay, thanks. But I say it in Spanish, and then I walk away.
Yep. Sale where the lady had video games for sale, but did not want to go get them.
Oh, okay. I remember this. This is where we got the glow sticks. So this is before the 4th of July. it was really hot that day.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman, what was Ladybug? They had a little table out there, and they mostly just clothes and just junk. And I was like, you guys don't happen to have any video games, toys, trading cards, and that? My son's got a Wii. I was like, does he though? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, do you want to get rid of it? Yeah, he doesn't really play it. I was like, $40. Where is it? Oh, it's inside. What games? I think he's got Mario Kart and that game when you fight. I was like, Smash? And she's like, yeah, I think that's the one. But anything else? Yeah, she's got a few. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I was like, so like $50. Go get it. No, I can't. He's inside. I'll see it. But they don't have money to go buy new games? No. I don't want to. Not right now. Come back later. I was like, what? Like, I'm offering you money? Yeah, I can't do it right now. Do it later. And I got real kind of mad. And I was like, and she was like, don't worry about it. Like, he's, probably lying to you or something. I was like,
The sale that had the huge Julia Roberts.
I forgot about that. So I went to this sale like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because it was by this thrift store that we go to a lot. And every day I bought something. Like Thursday I bought something. I bought 2 Wiis actually for like $10 or maybe $5. I don't remember. It was a good deal. Got a bunch of baseball, football cards. They had a literal like, it had to been like 5 feet tall.
Yeah,
it was huge. It was a picture of Julie Roberts. She's all like, and like I have a picture of me next to the picture of Julia Roberts.
Yep.
My heart will go on.
That's not the right one.
I will remember Julia Roberts.
Okay. So the grandma who told us the crazy story about the robbery across the street.
Okay. So went to this one. We actually went to Walmart to like pick up something for dinner. Or, I don't remember. We needed something at Walmart. Mm-hmm. And went to the big Walmart instead of the little Walmart. And as we're coming back, there's a sign that says garage sale. I was like, let's stop. It's a Sunday afternoon. Mm-hmm. And I got some Ben 10 toys, which I actually just sold one of those recently. A couple other little figurines and stuff. And she was telling me about, we were talking about the Bible and how like society's going down the tubes, and she's like, I don't own a gun, but like I got BB guns for my nephews and blah blah blah. And she's like, these people across the street were getting burglarized, and I went out there, and she said it in Spanish, like, I'm gonna shoot you, MNFer, and like started screaming and like ah, and she said the people just dropped their flashlights and ran off. And then she was like, can you imagine that little woman like running out there with a gun at night?
It's great.
Trying to cap someone? Like,
they don't know it's not real.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said, they don't know that it wasn't real.
It was great.
That Ladybug just gave up. Look.
What? Oh
no! It died like right there.
Oh no!
Like, what's next?
So the lady who didn't speak any English and was selling a PS but wouldn't let it test it at first, but then her son let us hook it up, was rude, tried to speak only Spanish with her son.
So we went to a sale, another Sunday sale where we had gotten lunch or something, and then we were cruising, and then we stopped. It said garage sale, and we had to find it. Well, there was nothing there, but they had a PS2 in the box, and they wrote $50 on it. I was like, okay, took it out, had all the connectors, had everything you could ask for. PlayStation 2. I said, well, can I plug it in? And they're like, no. And I was like, look, I will gladly drop $50 on this if you let me plug it in and you see that it works. No. And the kid and the mom were like arguing back and forth in Spanish, and I was like,
awkward.
And then eventually she was like, all right, let him plug it in. So we plugged it in, and what happened?
It didn't work.
It didn't work. It didn't power on, didn't do anything. Nothing. So I was like, look, I can't offer you this, I can offer you whatever. And she was like, and then she started speaking this. You know what? She's like, F you, just take the damn thing. And she threw it at us. And I was like, all right, thanks. And so we walked off. And he was telling her, like, why did you do that? Why did you do that?
It's sad.
Not really.
So the garage sale where all of the clothes smelled like pee and they were all over the pits.
So, like, I don't know what the deal is with that, but I do know exactly what you're talking about. Because we went to this one sale, and it was in, like, Little Mexico, and, like, they had this, like, cast iron fence around their property, which is like a normal single family home, maybe 2-3 bedrooms. They had clothes all over the place, and I guess everyone steals tools because there was tools for sale, but it had an odor to it, and not in like I just pooped odor. It was foul. It was disgusting, and like I remember her saying like, "I'm gonna go sit in the car." It was bad.
That's terrible.
Well, I think we went back there once or twice. Like the next weekend, they had like
she sells a lot.
Back to back cat pea sale.
Now we call it the pea sale. So this one is the 9-year-old who was running his own sale by himself, but we scored.
We sure did. They had a thing on their post. I don't know if it was on Nextdoor or Craigslist, and it was like, our son Julian or whatever is going to run the sale. Well, they had a bunch of like, I forgot what they're called. They're like high-end toys that you build. It's not Lionel.
No.
I think I have one left.
Yeah.
A bunch of Thomas trains, which were Lionels. And I think we got everything for like $60, and I think I made like $500 off of everything.
It was insane.
It was good.
He was so professional for a cute little 9-year-old kid.
He was ginger.
But he still did a good job.
He did do a good job. Julian, wherever you are.
Congrats. I hope he sold everything. The Chinese man who came to our sale and asked for how much for the lot, and we ended up selling all of our electronics and the trucks for $500.
So, yeah. That was our best thing at the garage sale that we had. I'm assuming he was Chinese. He was some kind of Asian. And he came up and he was like, how much for all of this? And I was like, what?
From here?
Yeah, from here to here. And I was like, $800. He's like, $300. I was like, $700. He was like, $400. And I was like, $600. He was like, $400. And I was like, He's like, $500 cash right now. And he got a bunch of Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I had a box. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a box full of Wii's. I had like 10 Wii's in there. We took all the games out. We had a bunch of controllers. The Wii's alone, he probably made, if he sold them, and that's what he was doing, he probably made like $600 on the fucking Wii's. And then we had a bunch of video games, and a bunch of video game cases, and a bunch of discs, and everything. And he didn't look at it. He didn't ask about it. He just paid me, and I put it in his car, and he left, just like that. And I said, "Here's my number. I buy, sell, trade video games. Obviously, you do the same thing. Call me if you." He's like, send me pictures of everything. I was like, that's fine. So he gets down the road, and then he sends me a text message. Mr. Dash, you gave me a bag full of just cases. I said, yes. There's a bag full of cases, but there's also a bag full of games. There's a bunch of games and cases. There's all kinds of stuff. Well, that was terrible. Well, you didn't ask about them. You just paid for them and you left. I would have had no problem telling you that these are just discs and these are just cases and they don't always match. But he got 200 games that had cases and manuals.
Oh, yeah. He made out pretty good.
And then he never wanted to do business with me again after that. So I got his money.
The sale that was listed as the most awesome sale.
Why don't you talk about that one? It was the best garage sale ever.
Best garage sale ever. You don't want to miss it. We get there and it was crap. It was mostly school books, used, drew in, colored in,
annotated.
wrote in. Yeah, it was terrible. I gave them half a star.
They had a ping pong table, but they said that wasn't for sale.
Yeah, no.
And they had some Nerf guns that didn't have bullets or they wouldn't shoot or something that. And a deflated basketball. The house is a very wealthy neighborhood, but their title said the best garage sale ever.
It was the worst garage sale ever. I gave them half a star. No regrets. Wasted our time. Next one is drove to Garland for a sale that listed games and systems. Got there 5 minutes before start time for them to tell us that they already sold everything.
So we got there at 7 a.m. We drove 30 minutes. Remember, because I had to poop. They said they had video games and all kinds of stuff. Video system. Way to go. They had video systems. Don't need to stop video systems? She's not impressed. I don't Yeah. And then she was like, well, we're looking. And so this dude comes out, I guess it was her husband or something. And he was all like, yeah, we sold the other ones. And I was like, what are you talking about? You said you have video games. We drove all the way for video games. She's like, well, we have one. He's like, I think I'll go find it. And so she was looking at some stuff and like, just trying to act like we cared. Well, the dude comes out with an NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. No cables, no games, no nothing. No proof that it worked. I don't know if it works. Last time I played it, it works. I got cables, but Well, can you test it? Can we plug it in? No. How much do you want for it, babe?
$100.
System only, console
System
only.
only.
No cords, no test, no nothing. I was like, I can give you like $15. And he was like, I don't think so. It's worth way more than that on eBay. We turned around and we walked off.
Bye.
And I had a really hard time not saying something to him.
Yes.
In Spanish.
Donde está videojuegos? Estate sale in Mesquite where the guy bought all the games and they wouldn't budge on any prices and everything was extremely overpriced.
What?
Yeah, there was a estate sale in Mesquite where we went there and they
Oh,
stuff.
Oh yeah, we got there when it opened,
Mm-hmm.
and we rushed in, and there was a guy. I don't know if they set it up, but he had everything like hoarded. And then as we were going to check out, I want to buy those, or I want to look at those. He's like, no, I'm buying them, and he paid for them, and I was pissed off because I was also sick. I think I didn't feel good. It was a big house.
It was huge.
And it was over there, like off of Box Springs, where the Amazon thing was. Remember, there was a mansion house, and then there was an Amazon facility right across the street. And we were like,
Yeah.
and I don't know how they got to him before we did, but it was unfortunate because like they had nothing else there worth. I think I got some cords and like the fly traps. I was like, she gave them to me for like
I
$1.
got the straws for free.
Oh yeah.
And the printer that doesn't work. Or
Yeah, that was a
the
different. That
typewriter.
was a different estate sale.
Was it?
That was a different one. That was
Oh,
the one
that's
we,
right. That's right.
Yeah, we drove like to Royce City for.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, oh wait a minute.
I got
No.
those joysticks.
Yeah, they were overpriced on everything. We didn't buy nothing but that one. Okay, so this one is the sale where a lady was selling an MK watch and was asking twice the price of the new one. It was all
So
BS.
we were out in Fort Worth,
Mm-hmm.
and it was some kind of impromptu yard sale, and we were trying to like wheel and deal because we've done good in Fort Worth before, but Fort Worth sucks. No, I was talking about whatever and asking about video games. She's like, no, we got some nice watches. And so, like, she tells her daughter or whoever this serving girl was to go inside and bring out some watches. Well, I was like, I like watches too. And she comes out with these Michael Kors watches. And she's like, oh, those are cool. And I was like, compose yourself, retard your anger. Let's see. Well, she's like, straight up, they don't work. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we're like, we're trying not to seem too interested, but we're looking them up. I can't find exact comps, but they're anywhere from $50 to $75 a piece. She's like, I can do like $100 a piece on the watches. They're very scratched up, very damaged, very heavily worn. She's like, they're basically brand new. And she was, and like had to, excuse herself. They were more than heavily, worn. They were damaged. One had a crack on it.
Yeah.
And we looked up the serial numbers, and brand new, they're like $120. So there's no way that I'm going to pay that. And I was like, look, this is what I can offer. And she was like, that's insulting. I know what they're worth. And I was like, have a nice day, ma'am.
Bye. The city where the letter says, no, we don't have video games, but
We got
have
tires.
and wheels.
So we went to this one sale, and this woman, they had a bunch of stuff, and like they had like they weren't just tires, they were like monster truck tires. And like everyone came there was like, she's like, you want to buy some tires and buy some wheels? And like, I don't know what you put them on. A monster truck?
A lifted truck?
Maybe.
Not anything we drive.
Mm-mm.
It was still funny though. So, sale where we couldn't tell if a person there was male or female.
Okay, that was pretty funny.
It was.
It was in this weird secluded street, and I've lived in this area most of my life, and she didn't even know it existed. This weird street by the park, and like it curved around. It was like a hidden street, and it was really weird. The houses were okay looking. They weren't like great, but they weren't like trashy. And then the grass was also really overgrown.
Yeah.
This very large lot of land, and like a snaking sidewalk that went like past like the door. So we walked up the sidewalk, and the grass was so overgrown that we were all like, ooh, ooh, because it was like summertime. We all had shorts on, and this person came up. Hey, what, you guys looking for anything specific? And I was like, you guys got any video games? I don't know. We got golf clubs. Get some golf clubs, and like it had boobs, and then like a really short like hair, like shorter than my hair is, haircut, and someone was like, "That's my sister," and then I was like, "Your sister's ugly."
It was interesting.
We didn't buy the golf clubs.
We did not.
I think they wanted way too much for them.
Yeah. So the man that you met at the sale who claims to have made Stevie Ray.
Okay, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yeah. So we went to the sale where she found this daffodil. What's it called? Sunflower, dandelion paperweight. It was like encrusted in enamel or something. We got a couple good things there. Made a little bit of money, and he made leather. Like he was like a tailor, and he tooled leather and everything. And he was talking about something he played guitar on. I was like, well, I play guitar and blah blah. And he was talking about me. He looked me up. I looked him up, and he was like, wow, that's impressive. I didn't know you were who you were. Don't look me up. But we talked, and he was like, yeah, I made guitar straps for Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I was like, smell that? It's bullshit. And he was all like adamant about it and how he knew Stevie Ray Vaughan and went to school with him and his brother and yada 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 yada. And I was like, and I'm a lead singer in Pantera. Like, come on.
Okay. This one is the man at the plaza.
This dude. Okay, so the Plaza Garland is a really cool little flea market. First time going there, I used to go to Saigon Mall all the time, but they moved, and then some of the vendors moved. This guy has a lot of good stuff, but he asks probably almost double of what it's worth. He won't let you look at it. He won't let you test it. He won't let you do anything. He just wants you to pay for it and get the heck out of there.
Yep.
Well, she wanted a game, and he was like, I don't know what that is. I don't have that. Well, this dude walks in there, and he's like, hey, I'm from Facebook Marketplace. And then he had this bag, and he unzips it, he digs through it, and he gets it. And I was like, what you got in the bag over there, dude? Oh, nothing. I said, my wife wants one of those games. I know you got it in there. I saw it. He's like, oh, no. I was like, look, you're going to open that bag or you're going to have a problem. He's like, he gives me the bag. I looked through it and he didn't have the game in there. But he's just a jerk. And then the other vendors even complain, like, I don't know how this guy stays in business. He's a crook. And I see his stuff everywhere. Facebook, OfferUp, Mercari Local. He's on it. He does it. He posts nonstop. I don't see how he stays in business or pays his bills. He's got to be laundering money for the drug cartels.
The next one was the lady who was drunk and was going off about newspapers.
What?
That was one that you wrote down. Who was drunk.
Oh, okay. No. There was another sale in Garland. That was the day we went to the plaza. This older woman. I bought that thing for my grandmother. It was like that perfume bottle. Little old white-headed Betty White looking mofo, and she was real short, and she was hammered. And I know I've been hammered. Lawyers, it's not this. I'm not drunk at all. I don't drink alcohol. Never have I ever. Will I ever? No. This woman was tossed like a salad, and she was all like, "Don't read the newspaper because it's liberal bullshit." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and she was like, "Yeah. Congress ain't doing nothing about America." And I was like, how much you want for your thing? That's not the point, son. And we got to go back to the 50s and Jesus. And I was like, I agree, but how much you want for your little thingy? $5. It was also really hot that day.
It was.
And we were in her garage. It was not ventilated.
Something's on fire.
She tried to sell me her dog. My nose is stopped up.
Mine is too. So, went to a sale where he offered $150.
Oh, I hate you so much.
I love you too. For a total video games that we totally could have scored for 80 or less.
Why don't you talk about that?
Well, I mean, the ladies are really nice.
We went back to their house not too long ago.
We did. We sure did. And we bought some more stuff. He gets a little excited sometimes, and there was a whole tote full of video games. And I was like, hey, You should offer, like $80, maybe like $100.
They had a bunch of good games.
He said, so $150. I was like, no, that's too much. So the lady walks over there and she said, so what do you think? And he's like, $150?
And she was like, sold.
Yeah. He's like, ooh, I should have went for $100. I was like, oh no.
No, I said, I should offer $100. She was like, you should have.
Yeah. No, big no. Needless to say, most of the games in there were not
crap.
worth anything.
There was 2 or 3. Smash,
Yeah.
Mario Party 4, Metroid. No, Metroid wasn't in there.
There was so many in there. I mean, you definitely made money back
Yeah.
than what we did. But, I mean, and then a certain somebody we know bought them all at their garage sale. So, it's a win-win. But I should do that next time.
Overpay for games.
No, say the price, and then we agree with the price before we overpay. The sale with the tote full of bones.
Okay, that was not one she went to, but I don't know how to speak English. I don't speak English. I went to a sale with my mom actually, and I got a few things. They were really good prices, and the people were like moving, and they just wanted to get rid of everything, and they had an entire like tub of bones. And I paid $10 for the entire tub, and I've sold several. I actually was going to list some more bones the other day, and I forgot. I need to do that now. It's like the new year. I sold a rattlesnake carcass without the head for $50. Sold several boar skulls for $50 to $100. Amanda, my cousin, if you're watching, I sold the cat skull to you for $25. Let me know how that's going. Yeah, I've made at least $500 off of a $10 buy. So.
Went to a garage sale where she sold just cactuses.
Okay, this was really weird, and I'll let her kind of talk about this. I kind of felt sorry for the woman because she was crippled or something. Yeah. And she had all these signs, and it was a very garage sale heavy day back in the summertime. Mm-hmm. And it said garage sale, so we followed the signs, and then when we got to the house, it had garage crossed out, and it said cactus. The poor older woman was selling cactuses.
Several different kinds.
She wanted like more than Home Depot prices for these plants. They were really nice, but I couldn't bring myself to spend any kind of money on them. I felt bad. Really felt bad. She was a really sweet lady.
She really was.
But
I'm just not in a succulent, so.
Or in the cactuses.
That's what a succulent is. But we did find out later that she did actually write cactuses on the signs, but we didn't see that because she had it so small. So, my bad.
Half a star.
Oh, this one was probably one of my favorites. It's a garage sale that was ran by a bunch of kids, and they were trying to make money so they can buy new Pokemon cards.
Why don't you talk about this one?
And he ended up spending probably, an hour?
More than that.
With 3 little kids and going through all their Pokemon stuff. And just watching them, it was so cute. They were so excited. He was like a kid in a candy store.
I was excited too.
He was very excited. They were going through like all their cards. They went back inside and they were grabbing all their binders and bringing them out. And they're sitting there on the floor and they're just going through all their cards and talking about all these little stories. And he's reminiscing about stuff he had when he was
They tried
little.
to give me a bunch of stuff and I wouldn't
They
take
did. It was really cute. So of course we had to buy something from them to kind of help them out.
We bought all their Legos.
He did. It was really cute though. Their mom was really sweet. And I think she about soaked up the moment as much as I did too, because it was really cute. You really made their day.
I did.
It was sweet. So the garage sale.
I'm not even looking at this. This is gonna be good.
The garage sale where he was walking and a cat bolted.
Okay, so let me just explain it. So we get to this sale in Little Forest Hills, and like it's a very like hippie neighborhood, you know. And this dude, they were very wealthy people, and the house was pretty big, and it had like 3 or 4 front doors. So that's how you know you're doing something with your life, I guess. And there was just junk everywhere, and they had like bowling balls and bowling pins and bricks. Like it was the most tackiest yard I've ever seen. And we're walking around, and it's like books and stuff. I remember it did stink pretty bad too.
Old records.
Old records that look like they've been peed on. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm like reaching for her hand or something, and like I hear out of the corner of my ear like I was like, "What's that?" And all of a sudden I go, "Oh!" And like I was like reaching for my not gun, Yeah, I was reaching for my gun, and I was like, and I saw this cat go, and I stood there like, and she was just like dying on the ground, like, I can't breathe. I was like, and I had my hand in my pocket, like ready to go, and I was like, what was that? And she's like, that was a cat, and he's like, hey, Whiskers, and the cat was all like, I was like. It shook me.
It
shook me deeply because like it was like a Vietnam flashback, and I was just like ready to, FBI open up.
Kind of like the garage sale we went to where the dog was in the car with the door open.
Oh yeah, it was like some weird. They had like a Cox fence around the front of their house. Oh. And we were walking by, and the dog was like, I was like, reaching for my gun again.
I think he said something like "son of a bitch" or something. Oh my god, it was great.
Fucking dog.
It was so funny.
It was this little like yippy like Chihuahua panda bear looking thing.
Let's say that was asking for a lawsuit because that dog was like,
yeah, it was like ready to come out of the car.
If he got just a little bit closer, that dog would have got him, and it would have been on because that would have been a dead dog. But yeah.
As a threat of violence, we don't endorse that on the show.
Yeah, no, not at all. But no one hurts my baby. So anyway, so the next one is the guy came to buy a Hot Wheel and race it.
Okay, this is the bonus one. Mm-hmm. All right, so bonus thing. I sell a lot. Actually, no, I don't sell anything lures. I'm very poor. I'm destitute.
We barter.
we barter for things for money. So this is the bonus one after everything we've been through garage sale wise this year. This guy messages me about a Ferrari Hot Wheels car from the 80s that I had as a little boy. That I found that had value, I guess for $20-$30 maybe. I don't remember. He was like, is this available? I was like, yeah. He's like, I'll pick it up right now. I was like, okay, sure. Because most people that say they're going to pick things up don't. They lie to you. They make excuses. Oh, my kid got sick. I got in a car wreck. Yeah, I've heard all kinds of stuff. Yeah. They died in a car accident and they can't come.
Or they just ghost you.
Yeah. And I don't really take it personally. So I was like, you know what? I'm eating dinner. This guy wants to come to my house. I usually meet him at Walmart. I was like, whatever. Dude shows up. I'm outside. And I was like, okay. He's in a newer, nicer Ford F-150 truck, And I was like, so why do you want specific Hot Wheels? He's like, do you collect Hot Wheels? Do you like Ferraris? No. I like to get drunk and go to this bar where we race cars and bet on them. And I said, you do what? I like to get drunk and we go to this bar and we race these Hot Wheels and we bet on them. And he says, apparently after a couple Google searches, this is the fastest one. I took the money, I gave him the cart, and I said, well, good luck and have a nice time. I remember coming inside and telling her, and she was like, there's no way that just fucking happened.
But it did.
It sure did.
So if you're watching Guy with the Ferrari, we're kind of curious if you won that or not. And if you did, yay, congrats. If not, we have other ones you may want to buy.
New in packaging.
Yeah.
Ready to win. Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Let's go.
Ooh, look at that.
Here's the sound of the cat.
So
that's all I heard was...
I've never seen him jump so fast.
One time in my life I've actually been scared.
Other than the dog.
That was shocking.
Yeah, that was...
underwhelming.
Very.
Ooh. It was over like that. The cat was...
That was...
The cat was scary.
I wish I had that on video. It was epic.
But 53 minutes in, anything else you want to say? Besides the fireworks going off next door?
Yeah. December 31st, 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope your New Year is better than this year. I sure hope we didn't miss any good ones.
I think we got everything.
We went to a lot of garage sales.
Mm-hmm.
It took us a couple weeks to think about our
compile,
favorite ones and
everything, but
37 isn't bad.
The last one wasn't really a garage sale, but
no, but it had to be put in there. It was worth mentioning.
But thanks to everyone who subscribed to the channel, who I've met, who I've talked to, followed on Instagram. I went from having no followers to having almost 2,000 in less than a year, honestly. My first year of full-time reselling, which I'm not going to disclose how much I made, but it's better than working a full-time job. Lawyers, I don't have a full-time job. I'm a loser.
It's Monopoly money.
It's Monopoly money. I should jump my hair more else.
No, that's good.
No. That's really it. I'm gonna give this gorilla a New Year's kiss. And wherever you are in the world, remember, not every day can be a good day. But look forward to 2022 and all the garage sales.
Yay!
All the garage sales.
Yay!
Garage sales.
Maybe after the holidays, the garage sales are back.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a funk.
That's okay. It's the holidays. But they're about over. And then there's Valentine's Day.
I'm taking down Christmas tree tomorrow. Valentine's Day. That's a good way to end the video. I've had enough attention for one day. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I guess stay tuned.
Yeah. Next year's gonna be epic. Happy New Year.
Bye.